What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to go over 4 very easily fixable mistakes of a diamond player, and you're probably making these mistakes yourself too, but they submitted their game for coaching. So if you want to get to masters, no matter what rank you are, like, you don't have to be diamond, you could be lower than that. You still can get to masters if you fix your very easily fixable mistakes. Super focus on micro mistakes that, like, oh, they see a professional player do this and they're like, oh, I should do that too. But, like, in all honesty, those mistakes, they do matter and they do build up over time. But if you don't fix your major mistakes, if you don't fix your medium mistakes, your little mistakes aren't going to matter. So this video, we're going to focus in and find out what those 4 mistakes are for this diamond player. So let's just get right into it. So we are going to start off with Heimerdinger's Portal. So Heimerdinger makes the first augment prismatic, so you're going to get a lot more power than you normally would in other games. We get a Draven pair here and a couple of other okay units, nothing crazy so far. You could maybe start going for ambushers, but yeah, just put the 2 Dravens in. It's a Morgana 2 in the next shop, which is really, really nice. You could think about going AP here, but you have AD items in the shop, so maybe we do want an AD comp. Maybe go for like snipers. It could still be ambushers. Honestly, it's too early to tell now, but yeah, eventually we probably will buy this Morgana. You could even do like Black Rose Sork. Oh, wow. Okay, so they sell that. They get a Draven 2, which is nice. So I know we didn't get ability power items, but I probably would have just made the 2-star. It's just easier to play that way. And then we get interesting options here. So they rerolled that. I may have actually taken that. You could do some sort of attack damage build with it because you have the Gambler's Blade, you get the tank item later, and we have a bunch of attack damage items. They see going long. Hard commit's also possible. Like Pit Fighter was also possible too because you do have a Pit Fighter start. I'm not saying it's that great, but it definitely is worth trying to explore. But they re-roll pretty much everything, and here I would just take going long. I don't really like I'm the carry now at the start of the game. I like it a little bit later, as like it's kind of like a neutral augment. It's not really great or horrible in anything, but I think going long is a fantastic augment, to be honest, and it's just a really free way to get a top 4. But honestly, I've been harping on a lot of players picking their augments in my recent coaching videos, but I'd say in this game, the augment choice didn't really matter that much. Like, they're all kind of whatever. But here, I'd probably build Infinity Edge. I think that item is a bit better early game. It's going to help you win streak a lot more. They build Last Whisper. That's okay too. I just would have built Infinity Edge. This one is, I'd say, it's like a minor mistake. It's not really that critical. Both items lock you into an attack damage comp, and you will eventually need a Last Whisper. But I just like Infinity Edge in the early game because Last Whisper is more like a kind of like a support item. I mean, you could put it on your primary carry, but it reduces armor, right? So it's more built for later on. Whereas Infinity Edge gives you like a ton of damage in the early game. Granted, Draven isn't the best item holder of Infinity Edge, so you could argue just build the Last Whisper and then see where the world takes me. Honestly, not going to cost you any games by building either item. Okay, so they get a Smeech. They have the Camille out. They have like a bunch of ambushers. Was it possible to do like some sort of ambusher build? So they had the glove, they had the sword, they had the bow. Like, glove turns into Hand of Justice, bow, Titan's Resolve, sword is going to be a BT. So we really could have won ambushers, but like, I guess we didn't have the Smeech before. Like, had we held off on items for 1 turn, you probably could go for an ambusher build because you have a lot of them. But honestly, from here, you could go all sorts of different comps, like any of the attack damage comps, like Twitch, Corki, like anything. You could even do like Gangplank reroll if you want, but they're facing off against a Sentinel player. They're going to be a hard commit player, so they're going to be going really deep into that. Probably going to be playing some sort of like Heimer Sentinel or Corki Sentinel build, maybe even a Zeri Sentinel. It could be anything with that. You could pair it with all sorts of stuff, even Tristana. But this player is able to pick up 2 wins really quickly. That's going to be working out really nicely for them. Not much in the shop. Do get some good news here because we're facing off against an ability power player. That means they're not going to be contesting us. It's always a good idea to like track what items people are going. A lot of people, when they scout, they don't know what to look for. Like, sometimes people just look for units and then they're like, hey, wait a minute, I got contested later. I thought this guy was going this other comp. Most often you should look at their items and see what comps use those items because it's going to be a much bigger indicator of what people are going. Augments are another thing, more so than whatever units they have. But this player is last pick on this carousel, and that's good. They're scouting around a little bit. You definitely want the glove to build an Infinity Edge, but that did get taken. It sucks because we have a win streak right now, so I want to keep that going, and there's no really other item that we can build right now. like Sterix or Bloodthirster. Those are the only options. There's a Belt and Negatron there, so that's a little unfortunate for this player. I would probably still level up, and yeah, maybe you could play. Is there Scrap? Is Scrap playable here? And then you use like one of the item components that way. Okay, it seems like they're gonna do that. I'm trying to think of the best board here. Like there isn't much in the shop. Like maybe looking at the other boards, like might not be able to win this round. It's gonna be rough. There's a person who's level 4. Maybe they could win against them. Maybe the the carry now augment actually carries them. Okay, sometimes lucky. You face a level 4 guy. That's really nice because without a 2-star tank in the front line balanced out with a 2-star damage dealer that we already have in the back line, and like having 2 item components, is really tough to win streak in the second half of stage 2. So it's a little rough. Here I would think about making interest because I don't really think this player is going to be going ambushers. As soon as you build the last whisper, ambushers are like donezo. You don't really want to play them anymore because you need every glove you can get to make hand of justice. So here I would say, or not here, but before, I would say probably sell your bench in order to get to 20 gold beforehand. They were at 14 before, and Smeech is 3 gold, Camille's 2 gold, so they just needed to sell one more unit to get to 20, and then you get up extra interest gold. So missed out on 1 gold there. Is it going to cost them? Maybe. It is the early game, so early game, that's when gold matters the most. That's why as augments go on from like stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, gold augments, or augments that give gold, I don't mean like gold tier, I mean like economy augments, they give more and more gold, experience, whatever you can think of, because they happen later in the game. Again, the main reason that happens is because gold is worth more in the early game than it is in the mid and late game. So it's kind of like real life. Like if I have a lot of money when I'm 20, great. If I have a lot of money when I'm 90, who cares? Because what am I going to spend it on? I'm 90 already, right? So same thing in TFT, same concept still applies, but they're able to somehow get the 5-game win streak. They dodged the other win streakers, so that's pretty good. And they actually beat someone who was level 6 with 2 items, but they had the augment level up, that person that we just saw. And because of that, like level up doesn't give you any power. The carry now augment actually did some work here. It's not the best win streak augment, but it's pretty good, right? But I'd say getting an item augment gives you even more win streaking power. Like it's still pretty good though. Like it depends on what you kind of get during the game. It's just a generic combat augment. That's how you could kind of think about it. And I don't really like combat augments in the early game because again, your units don't have many items, so you're wasting slots. So you always want combat augments after you get a lot of items. So again, probably not playing the ambushers. So yeah, sell some of them. Probably missed out on some gold there too. These items are looking a little awkward, a little suspicious. So what can we think of to do with these? So you could build the Infinity Edge. I probably would do that because like this person's obviously going Corki. I don't know which Corki build yet, but they're probably playing some sort of Corki. After that, okay, Hand of Justice. Maybe they're going into something else. But then after that, you have a tier, rod, and belt. You could build like a redemption, or you could build a Morellonomicon. It's just an anti-heal effect, right, at the end of the day. So these items aren't that bad, like, but I would probably build Infinity Edge and Redemption maybe, and then see what happens there. But if you build Morello, like, that's probably fine too. Not gonna be changing your game that much. The tier is easier to kind of fix. The rod's pretty difficult to fix. The only items you want is like Rage Blade. That's if you're going Twitch or something like that, but I don't think he's going to be going Twitch. Twitch is a little weaker in the meta right now. And then I can't really think of too many other items that rod's good for. Hexstack Gunblade's pretty good, but it's not like that great of an item. You could also build Crown Guard with it, get a tank item from it. That's another good use of it. So building a Morello, not too bad, but the tier, you could build either a Redemption, or you could build something like a Protector's Vow, a couple of other items too. So power up, late game specialist, eye for an eye. Probably not eye for an eye. Probably not late game specialist either because you don't have an econ augment. So they go for the prismatic one. So while I agree that Band of Thieves isn't that great anymore because you're not on a win streak anymore, I would have maybe thought about taking support mining. It's an interesting thought. Like it's not, this one power up augment, it's not bad. I kind of like it, but it's kind of like a risky augment to take in stage 3. I like it a lot in stage 2, but in stage 3, I feel like it just doesn't give enough juice, but that's just me. Out of the options this player was given, I think it's not going to make that much of a difference. Like, honestly, both augment rounds, I can't really ding this player that much because there wasn't any like super bad choice or like didn't miss something that's like super good. So I'd say overall, like, it's okay so far. Like, I could see this being possible. One thing that they are doing really well is they're scouting around a lot. I don't know if you noticed, but previous round they're scouting and they saw that the other person who had 100 health was a lot stronger than he was because they had a bunch of upgraded units. And because of that, like, yeah, you don't have to do the level up to level 6 prematurely, which a lot of players like doing if you're win streaking, including me. So they held off on that because they saw someone else was stronger, and I like that decision a lot. So let's see what they get in the next round. They are still winning rounds, which is pretty nice, right? But what comp are they going for? Are they going for the scrap comp? I'm still trying to figure out what they're really aiming for. I know it's some sort of Corki comp, but it's like Sentinel Corki, Academy Corki, Scrap Corki. You could even do like Emissary Corki. I just don't know what they're really committed to yet. You could also go for any sort of attack damage build. It doesn't have to be Corki because IE and Last Whisper are so flexible. Corki's just like the easiest one to play because he fits in so many comps. So we'll have to see how they kind of cook this up. So they are playing pretty flexibly. I kind of like that because I notice, like, I do recommend not playing flexibly. Like, if you want to master just one or two comps, if you're in like platinum, gold, whatever, like this game I think is a diamond game. If you're in those ratings, one tricking, perfectly viable. Even in higher ratings is perfectly viable. Like, I know challenger players that one trick comps to get there, and it's completely fine. Like, you don't have to flex, but I like the flex because it's harder to play. So this person's kind of showing off a little bit, but I am scared because I have noticed in all the games we've been watching through coaching, whenever someone plays like the early game pretty decently, they show their colors later on and like they kind of mess up the late game a little bit or the mid game. Like, I've never seen a player that we've coached so far where it's like great early game, great mid game, great late game. They have like one good one and one bad one at least. And yeah, we'll just have to find out, I guess. So what items would you all take here? We have the rod and the tier. I do want to kill some of these items, so maybe I go for a chain vest. Like, in a perfect world, if I did not have the tier and rod, I'd probably go for a belt, make a warmugs, but we do not live in a perfect world. So I'd probably go for the chain vest, build a crown guard, just kind of kill the rod, because I don't really think we're using it unless you go Twitch and go for a rage blade. That's the really only thing you could go for. But I wonder what they're playing. Like, they went for a glove, a one-cost glove. I'm not sure I agree with that. Oh, they're building Hand of Justice. What are they trying to use that for? Just as a backline healing item to kill the tier? I think there are better uses of that tier, like Redemption. You want some tank items because you have a lot of damage items already. So I would have built that already. So I'd have the Redemption going from like stage 3-1, and then off this carousel, I would have gotten a chain vest, get a crown guard, and then I'd have 2 backline items, 2 frontline items. Very solid stuff. Are they trying to just hard force scrap? It looks like they're trying to hard force scrap based on the way they're playing. Because when you play scrap, you don't need tank items. So a lot of people, what they like to do is build a lot of damage items instead. So you go like IE Last Whisper Corki. They're saving the belt so that you could put it on Corki later because it guarantees you the guard breaker. So that's probably why he held off on the Redemption. And then you build like Hand of Justice on Echo. You could like build all sorts of offensive items for your entire team, but I'm not sure if it's really that great to kind of force this scrap comp because this player does not have many scrap units. He has a 1-star Trundle, 1-star Powder, and it's a highly contested comp. But like, other people are probably going to be going for it because they have the same items. He does have great items, cannot deny that. Also, we should probably have leveled up last turn because we could have held at least 30 gold last turn and still leveled up. So it's just a good habit to kind of get into. They also have a Zig, so they have 1-star Zig. So they have 5 units of scrap units, none of them upgraded, like, and 2 of them duplicated, obviously. It's like, that's not a hard force scrap. So I take back everything I said about the flexing stuff. This person's just hard forcing, like, which is fine. Scrap is a very fine comp. It's probably one of the better comps, if not the best comp, depending on who you ask. So yeah, you could probably do it like this. Like, now all the other plays from before make a lot more sense, like saving the belt and going for the glove. Though I think there was still like a better option to go for off that carousel because the glove was on a 1 gold character. So missing out on that gold could be costly. We'll have to see. But going into the neutral round, like pretty decent spots, 73 life, top 4 in terms of HP, and ooh, Garen and Mbessa. Is there a way to play these with this scrap comp? I don't really think so. You don't really run quick strikers, you don't run watcher in that comp, so you can't really deal too much with that. But all right, scouting around a bit. What I like is this player is scouting around a lot. I feel like it's a little too much, but not like that too much where I'd be like, hey, don't do that. So it's just more than what I would scout, because I'd say scout every like couple rounds is fine, but they're scouting a lot for each matchup, which is good. It's a good habit to get into. Like a lot of good players do that, but you don't have to do. It's not like the reason why you're not climbing is sort of what I'm trying to say. Wow, they have all 4 emissaries. Are they going to play emissary instead? I like that a lot. Okay, they're playing emissary. If you look at your shop and you see what you hit and you buy them and you play them, that's always going to be the best way to play. So as we were saying before, I know this comp isn't that great anymore. It's still a very solid comp though. It's just that other comps are better. But as we were saying before, they didn't, whoa, don't build that. They did not have any scrap units. They had 5 scrap units by the time they reached stage 4. So like you can't possibly go scrap in that scenario, right? It's very difficult to. Like you'd have to really hit everything on your roll down. Normally when you hard force a vertical trait, you need to have like a lot of those units in the early game, and that way it's easier to get them as the game goes on. But they did not get many of those units going on, but they did get the emissary, so I am happy about this pivot. They're going to go straight into 4 emissary. Let's see what they pick for their next augment. Their previous augments were like okay-ish. Like I probably would have taken some different things, but I can't really argue too much about it. It's not going to make that much of a difference, but holy cow, they got bronze for life. You could just auto-click it. I know I say re-roll the other ones, and this player should re-roll the other ones, but you could just auto-click bronze for life. There's like nothing else. What? No. Okay. So augments, not good. Based on your augment picks this game, this last one really hurt me because you just got the best augment possible for your comp. The bronze for life comp. You skipped Gangplank. Oh, no. You could just play Emissary and have a great day. Oh, no. With the bronze for life. All right, so let's take a step back a bit. If we go to bunnymuffins.lol/meta, you'll know that on the Emissary Corki and Bessa comp, like, they run so many traits that it goes off the screen. So your bronze for life value is absolutely insane, but yeah, it's just the only bad part about this comp is that you don't get 4 emissaries that easily, but they hit the emissaries completely naturally. So the hard part of this comp, they already like fit that requirement. They already met that requirement. So they're super chilling. They're giga chilling. Okay, so they built Rabadon's Death Cap and Adaptive Helm. Sometimes people just want to have fun with Golden Egg, I guess, but like, wow, like, passes up the best augment, probably had like a free top 2 in my opinion. Even without the Corki, it's still very doable to kind of do that. There are other ways to play this comp. Like you'll see on the website, there are like 3 different builds that I recommend with like Corki. With the emissaries, you could also go like Rumble, which is pretty nice. So if you had Rumble in your shop, you could go for that too. But newsflash, like Bronze for Life is still pretty good for that. But they built Hat and Adaptive Helm, but they're not playing the Twist of Fate. You need to be playing Twist of Fate because he gives you Quick Striker for your Mbessa, and it's pretty solid because you could put the AP items on him. I would have probably built a Morello. They built Warmogs. Yeah, Warmogs is good. It's Garen's best item. It's tough to kind of say. Like, Adaptive Helm, yeah, that one's okay. Yeah, Adaptive Helm and Rabadon's is fine. I would have put the Adaptive Helm on my Garen, though, because I'm missing a few tank items. So I'd rather be playing some tank items instead. But what is, you could avoid all the issues you're seeing on your screen right now if you go to bunnymuffins.lol and follow the comps there. Because, yeah, like, Jace is a good unit, Elise is a good unit, but they don't really, like, synergize that well with the rest of the team, You always got to share with a class, and right now, they're not quite doing that. So what item do we want here? Probably some tank items, or just grab the Garen if we don't have Garen 2 yet. You could also go for the Jace, get a pair of Jace. If you do get Jace 2, like, you could make something cook, because, You could play like 4 form swapper later on, and with like the IE, Last Whisper, and Hand of Justice, you could put all the items onto your Jace, and he's going to be clapping people. But arguably, we should take the Garen, now that I notice. I did not know that he had 2 pairs or 2 copies of Garen already. So taking the Garen off Carousel just guarantees that you get a 2-star Garen. And if you get that, you are going to win a lot of rounds. And what do we have? What's our augment? We have Golden Egg. You got to always be playing around your augments. You need to win immediately right now, not later. It's like that scene from Harry Potter where Ron's like, it's not like me, it's not Hermione, it's you. You have to do it. But in this case, it's like, it's not later. It's not 2 stages from now. It's like right now you have to win so that you proc your egg faster. And in order to do that, you need upgrades. So getting an upgrade off Carousel for your primary tank, like you cannot ask for a better Carousel result than that, right? So keep that in mind. I know they're getting away with it. They're winning these rounds anyways, but taking Golden Egg, I know we had the power up augment thing, which made it prismatic, but giving up prismatic power, like we haven't used an augment since stage 2. That's what our augments say right now. Like we have not used an augment. We have skipped power up since stage 2, and it's like very risky, right? Okay, invisibility, not bad. Yeah, you don't really want to roll too much because you kind of want to go level 9 eventually. So taking the first one that's takeable, yeah, sure. Like invisibility, not the greatest anomaly, but I'd say it's fair to take because whenever you're playing fast 8 or fast 9, like you don't need to get perfect augments because you have so many different carries, so many different units that you care about. You only want specific anomalies if you're playing like a reroll comp, such as like reroll Nocturne. It's really important to get like a super good Nocturne one. If not, the team kind of sucks. But yeah, again, same thing. I'd probably just use the item remover here, put the adaptive helm on the tank because this Nami, like, is she decent? Yeah, she's decent, but like you're not really playing around her. So even though she has a death cap, like the more important part that you need from this team right now is more tankiness on your Garen. So yeah, just put the adaptive on him. It's okay. Wow, that is a strong board. 2-star. Did I see 2-star Savika in stage 4? That is crazy. I mean, okay. This person's Heimerdinger, Corky Sentinel, 2-star everything. They should lose this, right? Is that also a 2-star Alawi that I'm seeing? Yeah, this should be a loss. Unfortunate. The 2-star Garen would not have won this round either. So it's like the decision on Carousel didn't actually cost this round, but just because it doesn't cost you in this game doesn't mean it won't affect you in future games. I have to see where this comp is coming from, this emissary comp, because I've never seen something like this before, like this style of comp. Like I know you could fit Jace into the comp because you're playing Gangplank. Gangplank's really good because he gives you scrap with Corky, and then you get Form Swapper with Swain, and then you also get Pit Fighter with Vi. But you could do like a 4 Form Swapper, 4 Emissary build. I have seen that before. You go the 4 Emissaries, and then you add in like all the Form Swappers, and then it's like you use Jace as like your primary carry later on if you do get him to 2-star. It's like a super late game build, but it is possible to play. Let's see what happens. Oh, whoa, my friend. You have to pop the anvil first. There might have been a better item you could have built. So what did they have? They had a bow and a chain. Yeah, I probably just used the... Oh, wait, we don't have a pair of TF yet. I thought we could use a duplicator on TF, but I just realized we don't have pairs of anything. But save the anvil. Maybe you get some items from this golden egg. I forget every golden egg cash out. Like, they change it every now and then, but normally it's like a force of nature plus some other stuff, so, or a bunch of radiant items sometimes. Let's see what they get though. 3 more turns. We're at 51 life. Can we proc that? If you win 1 round, yeah. If you lose 3 in a row, you also proc it, but I don't want to be at like 1 life with the golden egg cash out because sometimes it doesn't even stabilize you. But just 1 win is good enough, and then you hit it in 2 rounds, and that should be good enough to get like a decent place. It's not guaranteed first place when you cash it out, because sometimes people with Giga high roll boards just, why pop now? There's no reason to. Just wait for the egg. You should have popped it earlier. You could have built like Edge and Knight or something like that. Or I guess your Mbessa already has invisibility, but you could have built like a Giant Slayer. Giant Slayer is pretty good. Put that on Jace. It's not a bad item. Something odd that I'm noticing is that we are skipping this Corky. I guess that's fine because like Corky's probably A lot of other players are playing it right now, but getting this Jace too, I mean, it'll happen eventually. Yeah, I probably would have duplicated this Twist of Fate. Like, I know you want both Twist of Fate 2 and Tristana 2 and possibly even Swain, but we're just not at that point yet in our life. What is this person playing? They're playing Enforcers. They got a lot of Enforcers. You just need to win one round, and then this game becomes so much easier, but it's kind of hard because the board just isn't that great right now. Oh, wow, it's enough. Okay, perfect. So let's see what they get from this egg cash out. So far, so good. Like, I can't say that the play is, like, that bad. The main mistake is the augment mistake. Normally, when we spectate people, because there's a bunch of gold and 2 Tactician's Crowns. Very nice stuff. All right, so I don't know if we need to level quite yet, because they got a lot of power from the 2 Force of Natures that they got, but they're not in a rush to level up, you know? Like, why do you need it? You already cashed out, so it's like you only play to level up really aggressively if you like haven't cashed out yet. So I would have waited a turn here, maybe even wait till the next loss and then level up after that, because all this other stuff, you just don't really need it. Like, you already got your power up, so you don't need to spend your gold, because you should win this round with 2 extra units, right? So they end up winning here, which is nice. Like, would they have lost without it? Maybe, probably not. But again, you want to be saving your gold or using it to proc your egg, not use it after you proc. Like, you can just play regular after that. It just was no rush. So I'm not really too keen on that. But it's not the end of the world that they rolled down. I'd say that's like a medium mistake, whereas the missing the augment before was like a major mistake. All right, so here I'd probably just get maybe, I would have liked the Hextech Gunblade. Runons isn't bad. Yeah, just put Runons on Jace. All these items aren't that great. Like, I guess you could do like Rageblade. I don't really like that one either, though. They lock for the Rumble. Yeah, that's fine. Rumble's very good in this comp. Like, you don't even need Corki here. You could just take out Corki. He's honestly not doing much. Item remove. Wait. Okay. Yeah, for the scrap component. Just put it on Corki. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, I would have put the sword on Corki, because the items you get from sword, they're okay on Rumble. If we run down the list, like Deathblade, bad. Giant Slayer, good. Edge of Night, good. Bloodthirster, good. Hextech Gunblade, good. Okay, maybe there are more good ones than I thought. What else is there? IE, bad. And there might be one other one that I'm missing here. But I guess there are a bunch of decent ones then. It's not horrible. But on Corki, I'm pretty sure all the results are like pretty solid. So I would have just put it on Corki. And then you could always remove it later and change it to someone else. Right now, like, taking that loss there, yeah, we just don't have that much gold, because we really needed this Jace too. So I wanted to get to level 9 with a ton of gold to roll down with to almost guarantee the Jace 2, but that's just not possible right now. It's tough. And they also got rid of Gangplank for some reason, but you want Gangplank so that you could play 4 Form Swapper potentially, because this Elise isn't doing anything, and like it could save you a lot of room. Like it pretty much has like 3 traits, right? So you could activate Scrap, Pit Fighter, and also Form Swapper. So yeah, I probably wouldn't have sold that, but they didn't know the comp. It's okay. They now know. They could go to bunnymuffins.lol to get all the best comps. But honestly, if you're submitting videos to me, I would hope you visit the website too, right? There's a lot of good information there. And in terms of like comp knowledge, I have noticed like a lot of players, they submit games on like comps they're not too knowledgeable about. But a lot of that could be avoided if you visit the website and read up on it like during the game, or even like before you play the game, just to know, like, not even, you don't have to know everything about the comp, right? But just enough to at least know what units belong in the comp and then play around that. That way they would have taken Bronze for Life and then went like super good on it, right? And then also, you know what units belong. Like, I know Elise is a solid unit overall, and they've been playing Elise a lot, and they also hit the random Jace, but the Swain Gangplank combo is like much more reliable, and it activates so many other traits that it like makes your team overall like a bit better, and you probably get them to 2-star because they're cheaper, right? So that's another thing to kind of consider. All right, let's see what we get here. Shojin Jace is pretty good. I'd probably take that. We want a tank item, but like Protector's Vow is not that great. Okay, they opt to go this way. See, for me, I'd play around the Jace because we have a pair of Jace, right? So who are we going to realistically 2-star first? The Rumble or the Jace? My money's on the Jace, unless like someone else has like 2-star Jace already, but I don't think anyone else has that. So I would just do it that way. And oh, one other thing. Normally you want to put your Mbessa in the second row, not in the front row. But since they have invisibility, it's okay to put the Mbessa in the front row. That way they get the Garen buff, get some bonus HP. So that's fine, right? Invisibility is like okay, and it increases her survivability by a lot. So she's not going to die randomly from being like focused at the start. So that's actually a pretty heads up play if they thought about that. I don't know if they actually did. We'll have to ask them. So comment down below if this was your game, and also like feel free to submit videos if you are watching these and want your games reviewed. I will say that for this patch I have enough games already, but if you submit your games early on new patches, that's when I like pick the games to kind of choose from, and that's going to be the best way to, or like the highest chance to get into one of these videos if you are interested in that. Like it's all free. Like I don't do any like priority for anyone either, unless I'm really looking for a specific rank of a game. But generally, like I just pick whichever games come first. So first come, first serve. I think that's the most fair, right? But yeah, you can submit your games down in the form below. You just need to record the game and make sure that it's in 1080p, preferably 16:9 resolution, just because it's best for YouTube in terms of that format, but not the end of the world if you do not. But now this player is in third place. That's actually pretty good. You know, considering the augment choice like was very weird. Like they were able to cash it out. It is a very good scenario, but I think the game would have been just guaranteed like top 2 if they took bronze for life, because if you already hit the emissaries, it's like such a big like ask that you met for free that it's just too good to pass up on, you know. But they get the Jace 2 now. Here I'm thinking we need a third Jace item, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. On that item anvil early on in stage 6, like you just need to get an item for Jace, right? Because you're gonna 2-star him most likely, because we're level 9, like tons of gold to roll down with during the round, and like probably gonna get him to 2-star. Rumble, like it also is possible to get him to 2-star, but you need 2 copies of him, and it's like that's a lot lower chance. So you always have to play around the best chance to win, and in this case it was the Jace, and getting 3 items on him probably would have won this round. I'm not just saying that for fun. Like 1-star Rumble in the front with like 2 Sentinel isn't actually that great. But okay, they get an IE here, then like everything changes, right? Because IE is an incredibly good item. They don't. You could get the Sterex though. Yeah, get Sterex. Oh no, someone took it. You could go QSS. Hear me out. Go Quicksilver, item remove the Mbessa, and then put the IE on your Jace. That actually might not be too bad. A lot of other players, they might want to get like anti-heal as well. Anti-heal is pretty good because we don't have that effect yet. Oh, they skipped over a Sentinel. Oh no. Buy it. Okay, Savika 2, very good. You want to put the Thieves Glove on her? Yeah, pretty nice. Any other goodies? Can we fit the Swain in right now? I'm thinking we do something a little weird. You might want to take out the Twisted Fate and one other unit, maybe the Vi. I'm trying to think. They're not the Vi. Oh, first you want to, we don't have any more item removers because we wasted them from doing other stuff before, but ideally, the Thieves Glove is going to be on the Savika, but I kind of want to fit in 4 Form Swapper after seeing that Swain 2-star. We still need Gangplank, but we have a pair of Elises on the bench, so there's got to be a way to include it, because like you got to play around your carries, and right now our carry, it's not Mbessa, it's not even Garen, like there's still 1-star Garen. It's going to be this Jace in the back line. And okay, Nocturne useless, but sell it for gold. Come on. Oh, they missed Tristana, but not the end of the world. Probably sell the Vise. You don't really need it. This is the last round anyways. Like 15 life, you probably only have 1 round to kind of finish everything. I would have just sold the Vise, rolled down, and see if I could get a new copy of Rumble, and then maybe swap the items over onto Savika. Yeah, there's a Rumble there. So you could have rolled down, put the adaptive on like one of your tanks, and then Hand of Justice your Savika. That probably would have been a pretty good route. But this person's playing the Swain Sorcerer build. It's a very strong build, and they had dual purpose, so that is a very heavy econ augment. I think that, yeah, this player ends up winning because they hit a huge comp and had golden egg and very nice stuff. So overall, how would I grade this performance? I'd say for a diamond player, they're actually above average for that level. Normally when I see a diamond player, and like we've seen a bunch of them in the past, right? Like they make some atrocious economy mistake. There was like a minor economy mistake this game, like not making interest early, and then later on, I think they could have waited one round before leveling to 9 and guarantee more gold to roll down for Jace 2-star. But that's not going to be like game-breaking decisions. It's actually like medium to minor mistake level. But their augments could definitely be improved on. So I think if you improve your econ a little bit, improve your augments by a medium amount, improve your comp knowledge a lot. I'd say your weakest point is your comp knowledge. You'll probably hit masters, because I think the scouting, like everything else, it's like definitely at an adequate level compared to other diamond players. I think you will hit masters in like pretty soon. So 4, I'd say like easily fixable mistakes that you could focus on. But good luck to you. If you want to submit your games, again, form below, and let's see what we will see tomorrow.